winner of the Creator Classic. You're 1 for 1. Tell me about the whole experience. I mean, you didn't play in the first one. You played in this one, which had a much bigger crowd, and you golfed your ball, man. It was super fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the experience was unbelievable. I've never gotten so many texts and congratulations in my life. I felt like I won like the biggest tournament of my life, which was pretty cool. So no, it was really fun though. I've told you multiple times when I walked up to that first tee and looked at all those people, I mentally at that moment, I thought about all the tour pros out there and just how different they are and how they're built different mentally, because they can handle that and they do that week in and week out. And it just kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, this is unbelievable playing in front of this many people. But yeah, it was really cool, man.
So you mentioned, I think in our post interview after you won, you were saying, in the past, when there was pressure, you would get tight. Like, what were you? Because I know you played college golf. You played a lot of tournaments before. What were you like as a player in tournament conditions?
Yeah, so freshman year of college had a pretty rough year. I think I had like a 78 scoring average, and I was pretty much ready to give it up. I remember calling my mom and being like, I don't think I want to play anymore. And then after that year, I got to the point mentally where I stopped caring as much. And then my next 3 years, my scoring average went down, down, down. And by my senior year, I think I had a 73 scoring average, which was, for me, like, I shocked myself. And I was able to settle into the rounds. And I think for competitive golf, being able to settle in somewhat fast, because everybody gets nervous, but being able to settle in is the biggest thing. And like, I knew I was going to be so nervous because I haven't played like it felt serious. I mean, you're going into it like
back 9 TPC Sawgrass day before the Players.
Yeah. Like, everyone's like, oh, we're just going out there to entertain, have fun. But you walk up to that first tee, you have a rules official, and it became really serious. Like, everyone's quiet. Like, even like, Bob at FP's serious. Like, I'm just like, what's going on right now? And so it makes you more nervous because it's more of like an intense environment. We know it's live, but no, the group we had was awesome though. They kept me super relaxed.
You've played with so many pros now, filmed with so many pros. You've developed a relationship with Phil Mickelson. How has that helped your golf game?
Yeah, I think, that first off, that's been really cool. Just, meeting all the guys. And now it feels like, when I go to a tour event and I see the guys on the range, like, you can just walk up and say hi to them. It's very different than it was. And a lot of the guys have embraced it, which is really cool. But playing with Phil, it's definitely helped my mental game for sure. He's played a lot of tricks on me. Yeah. You got to be ready for everything. And I think it toughens you up. But yeah, Phil's like off camera has talked a lot about just like different things to me. And, we've talked a lot about pressure situations. And I was telling Phil, I was like, before our first 2v2 with Dustin Johnson and his brother, I was like amped up. Like, I was fired up. Like, that was my Super Bowl, it was our first 2v2. And I didn't want to let Phil down. That was the biggest thing with this 2v2 series. I don't want to let Phil down. I'm scared to, I was just like, we need to start winning. So we're luckily 2-0 right now. But yeah, he's helped a lot with the mental side of everything.
What about like, because he was talking about how he's hitting a lot of like off speed shots and he's kind of doing it a different way. Have you learned, I saw you like taking some extra clubs, swinging easy sometimes. Like, have you learned anything about X's and O's golf through him?
I have. So actually, Phil, surprisingly, he'll take a pitching wedge from like 120 all the time and knock it down and hit these like little flighty, sawed off kind of cut pitching wedges. And normally, from 120, you're hitting your 50 degree. Like, almost everybody's hitting their gap wedge. But Phil will always take extra club, it seems like, and he'll saw it off a lot, which for me, when it's windy and stuff, I think of that Phil shot that he talks about a lot, and it's helped me a ton.
Wesley had a rough go. You ever seen him play that bad? You've played with him so many times.
Yeah, no, Wesley, every time we play together, he's always amazing. And like, even on his bad days, he still scraps it together. I was surprised. I was definitely surprised, but no, that's, with Wes, he's the type of guy where it's not going to bother him. He can bounce back the next day, and we went out and filmed the next day, and he was playing great. So, you know, it's probably one of those just like fluke days. Maybe there was different pressure for him going into it. I don't know. Being, you know, the only tour pro, it's like, I don't know what's going through Wes's head, but it was pretty serious. Like I said, when we were out there, like we were all grinding pretty hard.
I feel like the next step for you is a good professional. I mean, we've seen this with Luke Kwan. He's gotten invites into tournaments that he's played. If a PGA Tour event called you up and said, hey, we want to give you a sponsor's invite, what would your reaction be?
I've thought about that. I don't know right now.
So, you know what?
I don't know.
I like that you answered that, because that's a phrase that you don't hear enough of these days. I don't know the answer yet. Yeah,
I have to look within myself. And I have to really see if I want to put myself back in one of those situations. But no, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, that's the answer I have. I truly don't know what I would do. I think right now I just love doing YouTube videos, and the Creator Classic, you know, happened, and that was awesome. I never expected to win it, but it definitely showed me a little something. I will say, like, kind of fired me up a little bit after, you know, I made that putt to win it, and that felt really good versus like kind of lagging that putt up there and kind of tapping it in for par, and Sully misses. It's like I made that putt, and that just fired me up a little bit. But I don't know. There's a big difference between me and pros. Huge difference, and I think people need to realize that, because there's a lot of people that do realize that, but then there's a lot that, you know, think that I could be out there, and the reality is there's a huge gap between me and the tour pros. It's giant.
Well, it was awesome for us too, you making that putt, because it made it a much cleaner finish. I got to do the call. It was really fun walking around with you all day. Thanks for joining the show, and great playing, man.
Yeah, that was fun, dude. Your outfit was super cool. I don't think I could pull that off.
Tan Rappaport, baby. I think you could.
maybe one day.
We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks for doing it, Grant.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.